All right, what's going on, everybody? So today we're going to be doing a review of the new Call of Duty game, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. With most Call of Duty games, you're going to have to break it up between 2 to 3 parts, a campaign, a multiplayer, and if there's a third mode, in which case this game has it, and that's zombies. We'll get to that later. So we're going to start with the campaign. The campaign is actually pretty decent. I've been pleasantly surprised these last few years with Modern Warfare and now Black Ops Cold War actually having decent replayable campaigns. I personally don't think this campaign is as strong as Modern Warfare, but it's definitely really good and it's definitely worth playing. I really appreciate that they didn't stick to the whole generic run and gun Call of Duty campaigns of the past. Granted, there's some missions that do that. I mean, you're going to have that in any Call of Duty game no matter what. But they took a different route. They tried new things. Whether or not you think those things worked, I personally think they did, is besides the point. It's the fact that they even attempted to do something different, break away from the standard formula. I really appreciated that, and I actually think they kind of nailed it. The campaign definitely has strong Black Ops 1 vibes, and that's to be expected. I mean, technically, Black Ops Cold War is a direct sequel to Black Ops 1. And what I mean by it being similar to Black Ops 1, not to spoil anything, but there's a lot of elements to it that is supposed to trick the player's mind and have you wondering if the character you're playing even knows who they are. I also appreciate the amount of missions in this game that were more thought-provoking, slower paced, and more methodical. It changes up that Call of Duty formula that has kind of just been the same over the last couple of years. And what I really like about the campaign is that there's decisions that you have to make in the game that can alter the way the game is played, alter who you interact with and how you interact with those characters. That is a really cool thing that I think they need to add to a lot more Call of Duty games. I think Modern Warfare last year did a pretty good job at it, but this game kind of took it up a notch. There's also some returning characters with Woods, Mason, Hudson, and some fresh new characters that are pretty fun to interact with. At times, for me at least, it feels like there's not a reason for Woods and Mason to really be in the campaign. It just kind of seems like, oh, it was going to be a good selling point. But like, I'm not complaining at all. It was really cool seeing them back, even though they did have a new voice actor, which was kind of a bummer. It was really cool seeing them back and interacting with one another and you getting to interact with them again. But overall, I think the campaign is definitely replayable. It has multiple endings that you could play. It has multiple different decisions that you can make throughout the game that I think are very interesting and very fun. I think because of those reasons, this campaign actually has a more replayable factor than Modern Warfare did last year, even though I believe that Modern Warfare was the stronger story in general. But I don't think, like most Call of Duty games, you're not necessarily going to buy the Call of Duty for the campaign. You either buy it for the multiplayer, or if there's going to be a zombies mode like this game does have, you're going to buy it for the zombies. It's just nice to have a campaign and a story to connect to when you're playing these side modes in the multiplayer, and this game definitely delivered on a pretty compelling story. Now we move on to the multiplayer. This is Call of Duty's selling point, the thing that they have to absolutely knock out of the park, and Black Ops Cold War to me is just, it's all right. There's nothing special about it, and I guess that's my big problem. And a lot of people don't like comparing Call of Duty titles because they play so differently, but it's really hard not to compare the two. And I'm going to be comparing this game a lot to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, which I've already done with the whole campaign section. But again, this multiplayer really just didn't innovate or try anything new. Again, at least with Modern Warfare 2019, whether or not you like the multiplayer, they tried different things. They tried different mechanics like mounting and super sprint. They tried different types of map design, which did not hit at all, but at least they tried something different. The gunplay felt brand new on this new engine, and Call of Duty Cold War feels kind of just like your old classic Call of Duty, which, depending on who you are, might be exactly what you're looking for. For me, since I have bought in and played every single Call of Duty since 2007, it is a little boring, and it is kind of just that repetitive Call of Duty formula. There's nothing about the multiplayer that necessarily stands out to me. I think the maps are pretty just decent. I wouldn't say one map is amazing, and I wouldn't say another map is necessarily bad by any means. They're all kind of just middle of the road. There's not an incredible amount of content, which I just, to this day, do not understand. I mean, you can give them a bit of a break this year because of COVID-19, but this is not something that's only happened this year. For the last few years, the amount of content in a new Call of Duty game is so much less than what they did beforehand. Like, for example, this map has 8 maps at launch. If I'm not mistaken, like Modern Warfare 3 in 2011 had 18 maps or something like that at launch. I could be wrong, but there was at least 2 times the amount of maps in Modern Warfare 3 that came out in 2011 than Black Ops Cold War, which came out in 2020, obviously. I think the gunplay, again, the gunplay feels pretty good. Again, it just doesn't feel anything special. Like I said with Modern Warfare 2019, the gunplay at least felt different because the engine was new. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War kind of takes a step back when it comes to the gunplay, and it doesn't feel as unique and fun to play with, to be honest. And don't think I'm like someone who's trying to stroke off Modern Warfare, by the way. I have plenty of issues with that game. The map design and the meta of the game, all that is just, oh, it hurts. It really hurts because I like that game's mechanics so much. But again, I just want to compare Black Ops Cold War to Modern Warfare 2019 since it's the most recent title in the Call of Duty franchise. Overall, with the multiplayer, like I said, it's very basic. There's nothing new. And again, depending on who you are, that might be exactly what you wanted out of a Call of Duty game. A part of me is actually excited to see where this multiplayer goes because on November 24th, which is 5 days from the time I'm recording this video, they're releasing Nuketown again. Some people might be sick of Nuketown. Myself, I am definitely not sick of it. Who doesn't love Nuketown? I'm excited to give it a try. I feel like Nuketown will play really well on this game. It seems like that type of game that would fit Nuketown really well. I'm also excited to see Gunfight returning. That is something I did not think that was going to return. That's my favorite part of the Modern Warfare multiplayer. And now that the mounting system that it was in Modern Warfare is gone in Black Ops Cold War, I feel like Gunfight could actually be even more fun. Gunfight was so much fun. I played it like every single day with me and my brother. We had an absolute blast, and I'm super, super excited to see that returning. And my thought on the game could change completely with just a few additions. You never know. Now we're going to be talking about what I consider to be my bread and butter when it comes to Call of Duty, and that's the zombies. It's the reason why I get so excited when Treyarch is slated to make the new Call of Duty. You know you're going to get a zombies experience. And aside from Black Ops 4, every single zombies experience has been a positive one. So I was really excited to see what mistakes they may have learned from Black Ops 4 and implement some new innovations into Cold War. And I'm really happy to say that Black Ops Cold War Zombies is solid as hell. This might be the most replayable launch map that Call of Duty has ever made for a zombies game, ever. It's definitely more replayable than Nacht der Untoten from World at War because that was the most bare bones map. It's more replayable than Transit because Transit is not a good map. I personally believe it's more replayable than Shadows of Evil from Black Ops 3 and Voyage of Despair or 9 from Black Ops 4. The only map that I think that compete with this map when it comes to being a replayable map is Kino der Toten, just is because Kino der Toten is the most iconic and user-friendly map like ever made. But because of the amount of things that you can upgrade and spend time leveling up in this game takes the cake to me for the most replayable zombies experience. Now let's talk about the leveling up. Like I just said, everything in this game has a chance to be upgraded to a different tier. So you get this thing called raw Ethereum crystals in the game from going through rounds and getting XP and things like that. You use those raw Ethereum crystals to unlock a new tier on whatever you want. So let's say Juggernog, for example, which again, I'm super happy that they brought back the OG perks. The tier 1 version of Juggernog gives you an extra 50 HP of health. Then you can upgrade it to tier 2 and then to tier 3. I don't know what those tiers are off the top of my head, but that's just one example. There is 6 perks in this game. Each perk has 3 tiers that you can unlock. Each gun class has 3 tiers that you can unlock. And same thing with field upgrades. There is just so much replayability to be had here, and that makes me so happy. Now let's talk about the map, Die Maschine. Myself, I was slightly worried about the concept of Die Maschine being set in Nacht der Untoten, but they did a really good job at separating Nacht der Untoten from this map. Yes, Nacht der Untoten, the original Call of Duty Zombies map, is in this map, but it doesn't feel like it takes up the space at all. The map itself is small and simple, sure, but it feels like its own original zombies experience, which is great. It's something that I was worried that they weren't going to be able to do, and they absolutely nailed it. Weapon meta is also a ton of fun. Shotguns, explosives, and the ray gun are the dominant weapons to use in this game, which are pretty much the exact opposite of what recent Call of Duty games have been. In recent Call of Duty games, it's you get an assault rifle and you put an alternate ammo type on it, and that's your gun. So to have shotguns and explosives be so good in this game is definitely a fresh feeling, although they do need to buff SMGs, LMGs, snipers, and assault rifles. They are just a bit too weak. Or actually a lot of bit weak. There's actually no reason to pick any of those guns up. And it also makes me extremely happy that the ray gun is as overpowered as it is. it was even more overpowered at launch day. The ray gun used to insta-kill no matter what round it was. They had to nerf it back, but it's still the most dominant weapon in the game, which is something that myself and a lot of people have been asking for, because the ray gun over the last few years has fallen off because other weapons outshine it in the later rounds. The ray gun is the gun to get, and that is super cool. There's really not too many complaints I can have with the zombies game. The zombies is super solid in this game, and it makes me really excited to see what they can do with this game in the future. The only thing that I can think of that they need to fix are just the bugs. There's certain bugs in the game, like if you're using a weapon and trying to unlock certain camos for it, your progress doesn't save after the game. That's a bug. That is not something that is obviously implemented in the game. Once they fix those game-breaking bugs that are kind of plaguing it a little bit right now, I think that this could easily be one of the most enjoyable zombies experience that a casual and a hardcore fan can enjoy. So yeah, that's it for my review for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Overall, I think it's solid. Campaign and zombies are definitely top tier. The multiplayer for me is kind of middle of the road. It's just not as exciting. I'm hoping that they're going to add more things into the future to give it that excitement and that uniqueness to separate it from other Call of Duties, but only time will tell if they're going to do that. So overall, if I had to give this game a score out of 10, I'd probably give it like a 7.5 out of 10. The only reason why it's not higher is that I think they do need to work on that multiplayer just a little bit. Let me know what you guys think about the game in the comments. I also stream myself playing this game all the time at twitch.tv/heyitsfrisco. A little bit of a selfish plug, but come check out, come hang out if you want, and I hope you guys all have a good day. See ya.